The vast chamber of the Galactic Council buzzed with activity. Hundreds of alien species, each more bizarre and colorful than the last, filled the room. Some floated in anti-gravity bubbles, others slithered across the floor, and a few even phased in and out of existence. At the center of it all stood a holographic display of the Milky Way galaxy slowly spinning. Ambassador Zixnax, a tall blue-skinned being with 4 arms and 3 eyes, called the meeting to order. His booming voice echoed through the chamber, silencing the chatter. "Esteemed colleagues," he began, "we have a new matter to discuss today. The humans of Earth have officially requested to join our galactic community." A wave of murmurs and whispers swept through the room. Some aliens laughed, others looked confused, and a few seemed worried. Ambassador Krulthak, a small green creature with large bulbous eyes, spoke up. "Humans? Those primitive apes who've barely left their own solar system. Surely this is a joke." Zixnax shook his head. "No joke, Krulthak. They have indeed achieved faster than light travel, albeit rather crudely." The holographic display zoomed in on a small blue planet in one of the galaxy's outer arms. Earth appeared, surrounded by a growing network of space stations and colonies on nearby planets and moons. "As you can see," Zixnax continued, "they have made some progress. However, their military capabilities are, well, let's just say they're quaint at best." The display changed to show various human spacecraft and weapons. Compared to the sleek, energy-based weapons of most Council races, the human technology looked bulky and primitive. Laughter rippled through the chamber. Ambassador Vreen, a gaseous being contained within a shimmering force field, wheezed out a comment. "Look at those metal tubes they call spaceships. I've seen asteroids with better defenses." Even Zixnax couldn't suppress a smile. Indeed, their military technology is far behind most of ours. But we must remember, they are a young species. They have potential. Potential to be conquered, maybe, snorted Krulthak. "I say we deny their request. They're not ready for the big leagues." A heated debate broke out among the council members. Some argued for giving the humans a chance, while others insisted on keeping them isolated until they grew up a bit more. As the arguments raged on, a small group of human observers watched from a secluded balcony. They wore translator devices in their ears, their faces a mix of anger and determination. Admiral Sarah Chen, head of Earth's Space Force, clenched her fists. "They have no idea what we're capable of," she whispered to her colleagues. "Let them underestimate us. It'll make our reveal all the sweeter." Dr. Amit Patel, Earth's leading quantum physicist, nodded in agreement. "Project Thunderchild is almost ready. Once they see what we've built, well, let's just say the laughter will stop pretty quickly." Back on the council floor, Zixnax called for order. "We will put it to a vote," he announced. "All in favor of admitting the humans to the Galactic Council, raise your appendages or equivalent." A scattering of limbs, tentacles, and energy fields rose into the air. It was clear from the start that they were in the minority. All opposed. This time, the chamber was a forest of raised appendages. The vote was overwhelming. Zixnax sighed. "Very well. By a vote of 2,157 to 43, the humans' request for full membership is denied. They will be granted observer status only, with limited access to council resources and no military protection." The human observers quietly left their balcony, their faces grim but determined. As they boarded their shuttle to return to Earth, Admiral Chen turned to her team. "Well, folks," she said, a steely glint in her eye, "looks like we're on our own. But that's okay. We've always done our best work as underdogs." Dr. Patel grinned. "They think we're harmless now. Just wait until they see our battleship in action. The Galactic Council won't know what hit them." As their shuttle sped away from the council station, Earth's representatives felt a mix of anger and excitement. They had been underestimated, laughed at, and dismissed. But little did the Galactic Council know, this was just the beginning. Humanity was about to change the game, and nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same again. Deep beneath the surface of Mars, in a hidden facility known only to a select few, Project Thunderchild was entering its final stages. The air buzzed with excitement and tension as scientists and engineers from Earth's best and brightest worked tirelessly on humanity's secret weapon. Dr. Amit Patel stood before a massive holographic display, his eyes darting across streams of data and complex equations. He ran a hand through his messy hair, a smile playing on his lips. "We're almost there," he muttered to himself. "Just a few more tweaks to the quantum drive, and we'll be ready for the first full power test." Behind him, a door slid open with a soft hiss. Admiral Sarah Chen strode in, her uniform crisp and her eyes alert despite the late hour. "Give me some good news, Amit," she said, coming to stand beside him. Dr. Patel's grin widened. "Oh, I've got better than good news, Sarah. We've cracked the problem with the gravity manipulation field. Our battleship will be able to move faster and more nimbly than anything the Galactic Council has ever seen." Admiral Chen's usually stern face broke into a rare smile. "That is good news. How about the weapon systems?" "See for yourself," Dr. Patel said, tapping a few commands into his wrist computer. The holographic display changed, showing a massive spacecraft unlike anything humanity had built before. It was sleek and angular, its dark hull seeming to absorb light rather than reflect it. As they watched, sections of the hull shifted, revealing an array of weaponry that made Admiral Chen's eyes widen. "Are those?" she began. Dr. Patel nodded. "Yep, plasma cannons, quantum torpedoes, and a little surprise we like to call the Star Smasher. It's a concentrated beam of exotic particles that can destabilize the molecular structure of any known material." Admiral Chen let out a low whistle. "The Council thinks we're still playing with gunpowder and rockets. This will certainly change their tune." As they admired the hologram, a young engineer burst into the room, out of breath and clearly excited. "Dr. Patel, Admiral," she gasped, "you need to come to the main hangar right away. We've just finished installing the final components of the quantum drive." The three of them hurried through the winding corridors of the secret base. As they entered the cavernous main hangar, they were greeted by a sight that took their breath away. There, suspended in a web of scaffolding and power conduits, hung humanity's masterpiece. The battleship was even more impressive in person than in the hologram. Its hull seemed to shimmer and shift, as if it wasn't quite solid. Around it, hundreds of workers scurried about, making final adjustments and running last-minute checks. "She's beautiful," Admiral Chen whispered, her voice filled with awe and pride. Dr. Patel nodded in agreement. "And she's almost ready. We'll begin final testing tomorrow. If all goes well, we'll be ready for our big reveal within the week." As they stood there, admiring the fruit of their labors, a thought occurred to Admiral Chen. "You know," she said, "we've been so focused on building this marvel, we haven't even given her a name yet." Dr. Patel chuckled. "You're right. Any ideas?" Admiral Chen thought for a moment, then smiled. "How about Phoenix? Rising from the ashes of humanity's dismissal by the Galactic Council, reborn in fire and ready to soar among the stars." "Phoenix," Dr. Patel repeated, testing the name. "I like it. It's fitting." As if in response to its new name, the ship's systems suddenly hummed to life. Lights flickered across its hull, and for a brief moment, it seemed to glow with an inner fire. The young engineer gasped. "But we hadn't scheduled a power-up sequence yet." Dr. Patel's eyes sparkled with excitement. "It seems the Phoenix is eager to spread her wings. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're in for quite a ride." As the team rushed to their stations to monitor this unexpected development, one thing was clear: the galaxy had no idea what was coming. Humanity's hour was approaching, and the Phoenix was ready to rise. The grand halls of the Galactic Council, once filled with laughter and casual diplomacy, now echoed with worried whispers and heated arguments. It had been 3 standard galactic months since the humans were denied full membership, and the political landscape of the galaxy was shifting rapidly. Ambassador Zixnax stood before the emergency session of the Council, his usual calm demeanor replaced by visible concern. The holographic display behind him showed a map of the galaxy, with several red spots pulsing ominously. "Esteemed colleagues," he began, his voice grave, "we face a crisis. The Zorn Empire has begun expanding aggressively into neutral territories. Our intelligence suggests they plan to push towards the human sector next." A wave of murmurs swept through the chamber. The Zorn were known throughout the galaxy as a warrior race, always seeking to prove their strength through conquest. Ambassador Krulfak, who had once laughed at the idea of human membership, now looked nervous. But surely they wouldn't dare attack a species under our protection, even if that protection is limited. Zixnax shook his head. "I'm afraid they see the humans as easy prey. Our dismissal of Earth's military capabilities has not gone unnoticed." The holographic display zoomed in on Earth's solar system. Small red arrows indicated the projected path of the Zorn fleet. "According to our estimates," Zixnax continued, "the Zorn will reach Earth's outer colonies within 2 standard weeks. We must decide on a course of action." The chamber erupted into chaos. Some ambassadors called for immediate military intervention, while others argued for diplomacy. A few even suggested abandoning the humans to their fate. As the debate raged, a small group of human observers watched from their usual spot in the secluded balcony. This time, however, they weren't alone. A tall, reptilian alien stood with them, his scales shimmering with an iridescent glow. "Your patience is admirable, Admiral Chen," the alien said, his voice a soft hiss. "If it were my people under threat, I would have revealed our hand by now." Admiral Sarah Chen smiled tightly. "Thank you, Ambassador Slith. But we humans have a saying, the best revenge is living well. We intend to do more than just survive this crisis." Slith nodded, his vertical pupils contracting with interest. "Then the rumors are true. Your people have been preparing." "Let's just say," Dr. Amit Patel interjected, "that the Zorn might find Earth to be more than they bargained for." Back on the council floor, Ambassador Vreen's gaseous form pulsed with agitation. "We cannot commit our forces to protect a non-member world. It would set a dangerous precedent. And if we do nothing," countered a crystalline being from the outer rim, "we'll be seen as weak and indecisive. The Zorn won't stop with Earth." Zixnax raised all 4 of his arms, calling for order. "We will put it to a vote. All in favor of sending a defensive fleet to Earth, raise your appendages." The chamber was split almost evenly. Tensions were high as Zixnax counted the votes. "It is decided," he announced finally. "By a margin of just 7 votes, the motion to defend Earth is denied." The human observers exchanged glances. Admiral Chen's hand moved to a small communication device on her wrist. "Well, folks," she said quietly to her team, "looks like it's time. Slith, I hope your government is ready to make good on our agreement." The reptilian ambassador bowed his head. "The Draconian Empire stands ready to recognize Earth as a major power, Admiral. We look forward to a fruitful alliance." As the council below continued to argue, oblivious to the plots unfolding above them, Admiral Chen sent a simple, encoded message back to Earth. "Phoenix rises." In the hidden base on Mars, klaxons began to blare. Engineers and scientists rushed to their stations as the massive hangar doors began to open. The Phoenix, humanity's secret weapon, hummed to life, its quantum drives pulsing with barely contained energy. Dr. Patel's voice came over the comms, excitement evident in his tone. "All systems are go. Phoenix is ready for launch. Let's show the galaxy what humanity can really do." As the magnificent ship rose from its secret berth, the future of the galaxy hung in the balance. The Zorn were coming. The Council had turned its back, and humanity was about to reveal its true strength. The next few days would change everything. The Zorn battle fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of Earth's solar system, their ships dark and menacing against the backdrop of stars. Hundreds of vessels, from nimble fighters to massive dreadnoughts, formed up in attack formation. On the bridge of the Zorn flagship, Supreme Commander Gruchter smiled, revealing rows of sharp teeth. "Pitiful humans," he growled, his red eyes gleaming. "They won't know what hit them. Begin the advance." As the Zorn fleet moved forward, they were met with an unusual sight. A single ship floated in space before them, directly in their path. It was unlike anything they had ever seen. Sleek, dark, and somehow both there and not there at the same time. Gruchter leaned forward, his curiosity piqued. "What is that?" "Magnify the image." The screen zoomed in on the lone vessel. It was the Phoenix, humanity's secret weapon, now revealed to the galaxy for the first time. Aboard the Phoenix, Admiral Sarah Chen sat calmly in the captain's chair. Around her, the bridge crew worked efficiently at their stations, their faces a mix of excitement and tension. "Open a channel to the Zorn fleet," Chen ordered. A young communications officer nodded. "Channel open, Admiral." Chen stood, her voice firm as she addressed the invaders. "Zorn fleet, this is Admiral Chen of the Earth Defense Force. You are trespassing in Earth-controlled space. Turn back now or face the consequences." On the Zorn flagship, Gruchter burst into laughter. "One ship. That's Earth's defense. This will be even easier than we thought. All ships, open fire." The Zorn fleet unleashed a barrage of energy weapons, missiles, and torpedoes. The space around the Phoenix lit up with deadly fire. But something extraordinary happened. The attacks seemed to pass right through the Phoenix, or bend around it, leaving the ship untouched. "Impossible," Gruchter roared. "How are they doing that?" On the Phoenix, Dr. Amit Patel grinned at his console. "Quantum field is holding steady, Admiral. Their weapons can't touch us." Chen nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. "All right, let's show them what we can do. Weapons free." The Phoenix's hull shifted, revealing an array of advanced weaponry. Beams of concentrated exotic particles lashed out, slicing through Zorn ships like they were made of paper. Quantum torpedoes blinked in and out of existence, reappearing inside enemy vessels and detonating with devastating effect. In the Galactic Council chambers, the assembled ambassadors watched the battle unfold on the holographic display. Their jaws dropped in shock. "By the cosmic winds," Ambassador Zixnax whispered, "what are we witnessing?" Ambassador Slith, the reptilian ally of Earth, stepped forward. "You are witnessing the true power of humanity, my friends, the power you dismissed and underestimated." Back in the battle, the Zorn fleet was in chaos. Their ships, once proud and mighty, were being torn apart by weapons they couldn't understand or defend against. Gruchter, his earlier confidence shattered, barked orders frantically. "Regroup. Concentrate all fire on that ship." But it was too late. The Phoenix danced through space, untouchable and deadly. More and more Zorn ships exploded or drifted powerless. Admiral Chen's voice came over the comms again. "This is your final warning, Zorn Commander. Surrender now, or we will be forced to destroy your entire fleet." Gruchter, his pride wounded but his survival instinct kicking in, slumped in his chair. "All ships, stand down. We surrender." As the remaining Zorn ships powered down their weapons, a cheer went up on the Phoenix's bridge. They had done it. Earth had defended itself and revealed its true strength to the galaxy. In the council chambers, the mood had shifted from shock to a mix of awe and worry. Ambassador Krulthak turned to Zixnax, his large eyes blinking rapidly. "We may have made a terrible mistake in underestimating the humans," he said quietly. Zixnax nodded slowly. "Indeed, it seems the balance of power in the galaxy has just shifted dramatically. The question now is, what will the humans do with their newfound power?" As the council buzzed with speculation and concern, one thing was clear. The age of dismissing humanity was over. A new era had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The news of the Phoenix's victory over the Zorn fleet spread through the galaxy like wildfire. Some celebrated the defeat of the aggressive Zorn Empire, while others worried about the implications of Earth's newfound power. But for the Kralax, an ancient and prideful species, it was a challenge they couldn't ignore. Supreme Overlord Zixtal of the Kralax stood before a holographic map of Earth's solar system, his 6 eyes narrowed in concentration. Unlike the brutish Zorn, the Kralax were known for their strategic brilliance and advanced technology. The humans have grown overconfident, Zixtal hissed to his war council. One victory does not make them invincible. We shall test their mettle and claim their world for our own. Across the galaxy, on the newly established Earth Defense Headquarters on Mars, alarms blared. Admiral Sarah Chen rushed into the command center, her face grim. "Report," she barked. A young lieutenant saluted sharply. "Admiral, we've detected a massive fleet entering the solar system. It's the Kralax, Mom." Chen's eyes widened. The Kralax were a far more formidable opponent than the Zorn. This would be the true test of Earth's new defenses. "Alert all stations," she ordered, "and get the Phoenix ready for immediate launch." As Earth's military scrambled to prepare, a Galactic Council convened an emergency session. The holographic chamber was in uproar as ambassadors argued about how to respond to this new crisis. Ambassador Zixnax struggled to maintain order. "Please, colleagues, we must decide on a course of action. The Kralax invasion of Earth could destabilize the entire sector." Ambassador Krulfak, once dismissive of humans, now spoke in their defense. "We cannot stand idly by. The humans have proven themselves. We should send aid." But before a decision could be reached, the chamber fell silent as a new hologram appeared. It showed the Kralax fleet approaching Earth, and it was massive. Thousands of ships, each more advanced than anything the Zorn had fielded, filled the display. Back on Mars, Dr. Amit Patel worked furiously at his console aboard the Phoenix. "Admiral, I've analyzed the Kralax ships. Their technology is impressive. This won't be as easy as the Zorn." Chen nodded grimly. "We expected that, Amit. But we got a few tricks up our sleeves too." All hands, battle stations. The Phoenix launched from its secret base, streaking towards the incoming Kralax armada. This time, however, it wasn't alone. A small fleet of Earth ships, hastily retrofitted with some of the Phoenix's technology, formed up behind it. As the two fleets clashed, it quickly became apparent that this battle would be different. The Kralax ships were faster, their weapons more powerful, and their shields more resilient than anything Earth had faced before. The Phoenix weaved through the chaos, its quantum fields deflecting most attacks. But even it wasn't invincible. A particularly powerful Kralax beam struck the ship, causing it to shudder. "Quantum field at 60% and dropping," shouted an engineer on the bridge. Chen gritted her teeth. "Divert all non-essential power to the field. Weapons, target their flagship." The Phoenix's main weapon, the Star Smasher, charged up. A beam of concentrated exotic particles lanced out, striking the Kralax flagship. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, to everyone's shock, the massive ship began to disintegrate, its very atoms coming apart. On the Kralax command ship, Supreme Overlord Zixtal watched in horror as his flagship was destroyed. Impossible. No weapon could do that. All ships, concentrate fire on that human vessel. The battle raged on, with losses mounting on both sides. Earth's smaller ships were being picked off one by one, but the Phoenix continued to wreak havoc among the Kralax fleet. In the Galactic Council chambers, the assembled ambassadors watched the battle with a mix of awe and terror. The humans, whom they had dismissed as primitive just months ago, were now going toe-to-toe with one of the most powerful forces in the galaxy. Ambassador Slith, Earth's reptilian ally, addressed the council. "You see now the true strength of humanity. They do not just fight for themselves, but for all who seek peace in the galaxy. I move that we immediately send aid to Earth and recognize them as full members of the Galactic Council." As the Council erupted into debate once more, the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. The battle for Earth raged on, and its outcome would shape the future of interstellar politics for centuries to come. The aftermath of the battle with the Krulax left the galaxy in a state of shock. Earth, once dismissed as a backwater planet, had now defeated not one, but two of the most powerful forces in known space. As the dust settled, the Galactic Council found itself in an unprecedented situation. In the Grand Council chamber, Ambassador Zixnax stood before the assembled representatives, his usual composure shaken. "Esteemed colleagues," he began, his voice echoing through the hall, "we stand at a crossroads. The humans have demonstrated power beyond our wildest expectations. We can no longer ignore their place in galactic affairs." The chamber, usually filled with chatter and debate, was uncharacteristically quiet. The gravity of the situation weighed heavily on all present. Ambassador Krulfak, once Earth's harshest critic, floated forward. I move that we immediately grant Earth full membership in the Galactic Council," he said, his large eyes blinking rapidly. "We were wrong to dismiss them, and we must make amends." A murmur of agreement rippled through the chamber. Even those who had opposed Earth's membership now saw the wisdom in aligning with this emerging power. Meanwhile, on Earth, celebrations were tempered with a sense of caution. In the newly established Global Unity Center in Geneva, world leaders gathered to discuss their new position in the galaxy. President Elena Rodriguez of the United Earth Federation addressed the assembly. "We have proven our strength," she said, her voice firm. "But with great power comes great responsibility. We must decide how to use our influence wisely." Admiral Sarah Chen, now hailed as a hero across the planet, stepped forward. "Our technology gives us an advantage, but we shouldn't let it make us arrogant. We were underestimated once. Let's not make the same mistake." As Earth debated its future role, other alien species began to take notice. The Dravaks, a peaceful race known for their scientific advancements, were the first to reach out. Ambassador Xilana of the Dravaks arrived on Earth, her translucent form shimmering with excitement. "We have long admired human creativity," she said in a meeting with Earth's leaders. "We propose an exchange of knowledge. Your quantum technology combined with our bioengineering could revolutionize medicine across the galaxy." Similar offers began pouring in from other races. The Volcrin, masters of terraforming, offered to help Earth colonize harsh planets. The Xintho Collective, experts in AI, proposed joint ventures in advancing artificial intelligence. Back in the Galactic Council, debates raged about how to integrate Earth into existing power structures. Some feared human dominance, while others saw opportunities for a more balanced galaxy. Ambassador Slith, Earth's longtime ally, addressed these concerns. "The humans have shown not just strength, but wisdom. They seek cooperation, not domination. Let us embrace this chance for a new era of galactic peace." As the Council deliberated, Earth faced its own challenges. Dr. Amit Patel, the genius behind much of the Phoenix's technology, warned of the dangers of rapid advancement. "We've leaped forward centuries in just a few years," he cautioned in a global address. "We must ensure our ethical progress matches our technological growth." The Phoenix, symbol of Earth's new power, was transformed into a ship of peace and exploration. Admiral Chen led missions to the far reaches of the galaxy, establishing diplomatic relations and offering aid to struggling worlds. One by one, former enemies began to see Earth in a new light. The remnants of the Zorn Empire, humbled by their defeat, requested Earth's help in rebuilding their society. Even the proud Krulax, after initial resistance, recognized the benefits of allying with humans. As Earth's influence grew, so did its responsibilities. The planet became a hub of intergalactic culture, with aliens from across the cosmos visiting to trade, learn, and collaborate. President Rodriguez, addressing the first interspecies summit on Earth, summed up the planet's new philosophy. We were once dismissed and underestimated. Now we stand as a beacon of hope. Let us use our strength not to dominate, but to uplift. Together, we can build a galaxy of peace, progress, and understanding. As her words were transmitted across the stars, a new age dawned. The galaxy, once fraught with conflict and mistrust, began to unite under a shared vision of cooperation and mutual respect. And at the center of it all stood Earth, no longer an overlooked backwater, but a shining example of what determination, innovation, and compassion could achieve. 5 years had passed since Earth's dramatic entrance onto the galactic stage. The once dismissed planet now stood as a cornerstone of a new interstellar order. The Galactic Council Chamber, which had once echoed with dismissive laughter at the mention of humans, now buzzed with excitement as delegates gathered for a historic session. Ambassador Zixnax, his blue skin showing signs of age, stood at the podium. "Esteemed colleagues," he began, his voice filled with emotion, "today marks a new chapter in our shared history. We gather to inaugurate the first human Galactic Council president." A round of applause filled the chamber as Admiral Sarah Chen, now retired from military service, stepped forward. Her uniform was replaced by the ceremonial robes of the Council presidency, but her eyes still held the same determination that had led Earth to victory years ago. "Thank you, Ambassador Zixnax," Chen said, her voice carrying across the chamber. "5 years ago, we were strangers to this council. Today, we stand united in our vision for a peaceful and prosperous galaxy." As Chen spoke, holographic displays around the chamber showed scenes from across the cosmos. On a once barren world, human and Vulcan scientists worked together, using advanced terraforming techniques to create a habitable environment. In a bustling space station, Zorn and Krelax diplomats, once bitter enemies, engaged in friendly conversation, their past conflicts forgotten. "Our journey hasn't been easy," Chen continued. "We faced challenges, misunderstandings, and conflicts. But through it all, we've learned that our greatest strength lies not in our advanced technology or military might, but in our ability to come together, to learn from one another, and to grow." On Earth, crowds gathered in city squares to watch the broadcast. Dr. Amit Patel, his hair now streaked with gray, stood with a group of young scientists. Among them were not just humans, but young aliens from across the galaxy, all eager to learn and contribute to Earth's scientific advancements. "The Phoenix Project was just the beginning," Patel mused to his students. "Now we're pushing the boundaries of science in ways we never imagined, and we're doing it together." Back in the council chamber, Chen outlined her vision for the future. "We will expand our joint exploration initiatives, pushing deeper into uncharted space. We'll establish new colonies, not as separate enclaves, but as shared homes for all species, and we'll continue to advance our technologies, always with an eye towards how they can benefit all sentient beings." As she spoke, a small commotion arose at the back of the chamber. A group of delegates from a newly discovered species, their crystalline bodies glittering in the light, were ushered in. They looked around in awe, clearly overwhelmed by the diversity of life forms present. Chen smiled warmly at the newcomers. "And to our new friends, I say welcome. Your unique perspectives and abilities will only make our galactic family stronger. Here you will find not conquerors or rulers, but partners and friends." The chamber erupted in applause, with delegates from hundreds of worlds rising in a standing ovation. The crystalline beings, touched by the warm welcome, began to glow with a soft, pulsating light that filled the room with a rainbow of colors. As the ceremony concluded, Ambassador Krulthak approached Chen. "Madam President," he said, his large eyes brimming with what might have been tears, "I must apologize again for how we initially treated your people. We were so wrong." Chen placed a gentle hand on Krulthak's shoulder. "The past is behind us, my friend. What matters is the future we build together." As delegates filed out of the chamber, conversations buzzing with plans and ideas, a young human aide approached Chen. Madam President, the captains of our exploration fleet are ready for your inspection. The ships have been upgraded with the latest quantum drives and are prepared for their mission to the galactic core. Chen nodded, a glint of excitement in her eyes. Excellent. Tell them I'll be there shortly. The next great adventure awaits. As she looked out at the stars through the council chamber's grand window, Chen couldn't help but smile. From a dismissed species to leaders of a galactic renaissance, humanity had come so far. Yet she knew this was just the beginning. The universe was vast, full of wonders and challenges yet to be discovered. And now, united with their alien friends, humans were ready to face whatever the cosmos had in store. The age of isolation was over. A new era of galactic cooperation and exploration had begun, with Earth and its once underestimated inhabitants leading the way into a brighter future for all.